On today's show, we are opening the hatch on the new Earth 1 graphic novel starring Green Lantern.
Plus, we've got a roundup of all the DC goodness that went down at South by Southwest. So get ready for DC All Access.
I'm Whitney Moore.
And I'm Hector Navarro. We consulted with the board of Wayne Enterprises to come up with a list of all the DC news you need to know. Superboy is about to meet the grandfather he never knew he had in Action Comics. Lois has tried her best to keep her father from John, but when General Sam Lane meets his grandson for the first time, all the family drama will come to a head. This is the final chapter of Action Comics before the landmark 1000th issue drops. So make sure you keep up with the Kents this week.
Kara Zor-El is about to learn that she can't fix every problem with her powers in Supergirl. The Girl of Steel befriends a student named Lee Serrano, who's fighting for acceptance as gender non-binary at home and at school, and Supergirl soon realizes the power that comes from simply taking a stand as an ally. Steve Orlando is sharing writing duties on this story with Vita Ayala from the DC Talent Development Workshop, so grab a copy of issue 19 starting today.
Hey, take a stand against the impermanence of streaming by investing in Justice League on Blu-ray. Look, no matter how you slice it, the convergence of the world's most powerful super team is a historic moment in the history of DC films. And the gag with Aquaman and the Lasso of Truth was tailor-made for hardcore comic book fans. You can snag a copy of Justice League on Blu-ray this week.
The youngest member of the New Age of Heroes is probably the most reckless, and it may cost him his life in Sideways. In the short time he's had his abilities, Derek James has already caught the attention of an ominous alien timekeeper who handed down a death sentence. Being a hero is far more than Derek bargained for, but he's not giving up without a fight, so sidle up to issue number 2 starting today.
DC's Young Animal is launching its 6th title to date with the debut of Eternity Girl. The star of the show is the immortal Caroline Sharp, a former superhero and an expert spy who's now stuck in a depressingly mundane post-Glory Days slump. Her old rival, Madam Adam, offers Caroline a way out of her sad existence, but there's a catch. She'll have to destroy the rest of the universe with her. Join Eternity Girl on her struggle over the values of life and happiness in issue number 1 today. And for more background on this mysterious character, check out the backup stories from the epic Milk Wars crossover event. Yes, that's a real thing and it's awesome.
It's DC Kids Superhero Month, and there is tons of fun stuff going on for all the young sidekicks out there.
All right, here's a card.
We have a note.
In honor of DC Kids Superhero Month,
your mission is to make an awesome video showing your favorite thing about DC superheroes
Using all other toys in this box.
Check out the DC Kids YouTube channel this Friday to see what they found in their boxes, and vote for your favorite influencer in the comments section.
DC's massively popular Earth 1 line of graphic novels is making room for a new origin story for Green Lantern. We've got husband and wife creative team Gabriel, Hardman, and Corinna Bechko here to fill us in on the new beginning they've constructed for Hal Jordan.
So the Earth 1 stories, they all have in common that they reintroduce a character to a broader audience. So basically what's going on is in the bookstore market, maybe somebody that's just heard of a character, they'd be able to pick that up and understand that character from a very basic level. So Green Lantern Earth 1 is about the origin of Hal Jordan and how he came to have this ring of power.
The biggest change in our book is he's not chosen. The initial premise of Green Lantern is that, that the rings go out and they find someone who is worthy of the ring. And we eliminate that entire element of the story so that the ring is a tool that anybody can use, and it's not something that he is taught how to use. He's thrown into the deep end. We wanted to tell a story where the character had to evolve and had to, had to strive to become the one who was worthy to use that ring. Being a hero is about making choices and about making sacrifices, not about being anointed as a hero.
And over the course of the book, we discover that other people have maybe used the rings in different ways. It's almost like it's a resource that can do many, many different things, but he's figured out a few things, and we start with a very basic idea of how it would work based on what he needs it to do.
And it's a point of view driven story, right? He only knows what you know, what he's struggling to find out along the way, or the few people that he's met who have any knowledge of it, and you know, and they may not have that much knowledge of it. Kilowog is a character in the story that he meets early on, and his ring was passed down to him by from someone else who didn't really know what he was doing with it either, you know? So it's all about discovery, it's all about him having to muddle his way through this situation and what's really going on out in this kind of vast galaxy that he can't hope to understand. He's totally fish out of water.
And at first, he doesn't have a good understanding of what it is he's up against. So that is also a new thing, because the first extraterrestrial, if you will, that he meets is not friendly. So
yeah, it's the Manhunters. And as he gets outside into the wider galaxy, he realizes that they're this hugely oppressive force, and they may or may not have killed the Green Lanterns. They may have killed the Guardians who had been in charge of the Lanterns, but all of this is rumor, and all of this is stuff that nobody's entirely sure about, and part of the story of the book is getting to answers about that. It's essentially a science fiction book, more than it's a superhero book, and I think that while he's a hero and he becomes the hero over the course of the story, we get there in a way that that is less about a conventional superhero origin story.
Green Lantern Earth 1 Volume 1 is out today, and here's a complete rundown of the new DC titles that you can pick up this week.
The world-famous South by Southwest Festival was a dream come true for DC fans this year. From an immersive pop-up experience to an exclusive Superman panel to a one-of-a-kind art installation, Austin, Texas was flying the DC flag high. The influencers at Mondo assembled a special art gallery packed with pieces dedicated to the cartoon that energized a generation of comic book fans, Batman the Animated Series.
We started this series back in 2014, and so far we've had a total over 20 episodes covered from the series. Classics like Heart of Ice, Joker's Favor, Holocanade, and the new ones we got to play with a whole new set of episodes like Trial or Birds of a Feather, Demon's Quest, Harley and Ivy, like other great episodes we're happy to touch on now. Overall, the fan reaction has been just amazing.
DC's centerpiece for the weekend was a massive interactive experience. Fans got up close with the iconic Batmobiles from over the years, as well as the larger-than-life Superman statue from Batman v Superman. Plus, to celebrate the Man of Steel's 80th anniversary, DC hosted a panel stacked with comic all-stars Jim Lee, Frank Miller, Brian Michael Bendis, and Dan Jurgens.
Honestly, the idea of hope in this environment that we're growing up in right now, it seems now more than ever we need Superman. It just feels like it's time for Superman, and writing a character who exudes hope to everyone around him, and the burden that is. It's a burden to carry for everyone, and we've seen it with other public figures and stuff where they represent something so much larger than themselves, and we're going to experience what that feels like, and then we're going to experience what it feels like for him personally.
Fans also enjoyed refreshments at the Flash's favorite coffee shop, CC Jitters, which transformed into Oswald's nightclub from Gotham after hours. On top of that, DC brought out some of its top comic book talent for signings with fans all weekend. Even the cast of Black Lightning came out to electrify the party atmosphere.
Well, this is my first experience at South by Southwest, and it's pretty cool. The fans have been really so warm and excited about the show, but not in a, thankfully not in a crazy way. Like a lot of times I just see people go, hey, Black Lightning, or, love the show, as opposed to where you feel uncomfortable. So it's been good.
Some of the reactions I've gotten from the fans have been overwhelming, honestly. For me personally, I've had people meeting me at the airport, which was kind of surreal and humbling, for sure.
I think they've really connected with the characters. I think they like the realism of the show, and it feels like people are engaged with the storylines and where the storylines are going. And I think, you know, once the audience invests in what the show is, then we're sort of doing our job. So I'm just, you know, we're just happy that people have got a connection to the show and the characters and the stories.
You know, the rest of our season, I'm excited because our season gets just, there's more, you know, more layers, kind of a deeper controversy that it gets played out.
I am looking forward to everyone seeing Thunder like really come into her own, and I don't want to give away too much, but I'm really looking forward to the evolution of who Thunder is, and we're like literally walking into that, so it's exciting. It's been
Cliffhanger after cliffhanger, spoiler after spoiler. It's been a roller coaster ride for sure. You know, we just wrapped last week, season 1, and looking forward to seeing that finale. The finale was awesome, it was great, so I'm looking forward to seeing that.
South by Southwest was an absolute blast, and for DC fans, there is no better time to be alive.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am panel of the week.
That's it for this episode, but remember that you still have time to enter to win the DC CoverGirl's Harley Quinn statue, the Absolute Sandman Volume 1, and the Justice League score on vinyl.
For your chance to win, visit dccomics.com/watchandwin and fill out the form with your information. It's so easy, even your friend who sucked a little too much helium as a kid could do it.
All right, I told you that in confidence,
Well,
but all right.
It's a funny story.
Good luck, and we'll see you tomorrow.